Hey everybody, it's Jake, Panther Creek Produce. We're going to be talking about our cucumber seed that we're planting today. We're planting Burpless Supreme Hybrid. Germination rate on this pack is 94%, which is great. We're also going to be planting Calypso cucumber. And the germination rate on this a 1 pound bag, the germination rate on this is 97%. Little information, let's see, I'm having to use my notes. So on the Calypso, it's supposed to be a early harvest cucumber. I think the days to maturity is around 45-50 days, somewhere on that, but at the same time it's supposed to have plentiful yields. Great pickling cucumber, also just snacking cucumber. A lot of people at our market, one of the things that I lacked last year was enough pickling cucumbers. So this year I decided to go with Calypso. From information that I read in this region, it's supposed to be really great, heavy producer, heavy yields. It's supposed to have a good disease package and just about worry free on planting. Let's see, the Burpless Supreme Hybrid here, the one thing that on the slicer variety is supposed to be very mild. From what I've read and what the details say in regards to those seed, are they're not supposed to be give you the burps like cucumbers do, but they're supposed to be a very mild tasting cucumber. The skin on them is supposed to be relatively thin. I think from some of the stuff that I've read and looked at, that's where they claim that people get the burps from the cucumbers, is from the skin of the cucumber when they eat it. It's not seedless variety, but it's very few seeds that are in that slicing cucumber. But yeah, those are going to be the two. The seed pack on the slicer is 1,000. I probably won't plant 1,000 cucumber plants. I'll probably plant that 250 to 500 depending on what I get per row. We're transplanting a lot of them, so we'll figure out the row space and what we'll do. It's recommended to, if you're going to sow them, sow seed every 6 to 8 inches and then go back and thin them out every 1 per foot. But what we're going to do is we're going to transplant them, and probably, depending on what my water wheel is set up for, we're either going to space them at 1 foot or 2 foot. That way we can give the vines plenty of room to run, plenty of room to have their own section of like when they're being fertilized, so that way they can draw in each plant can draw in their own nutrients. They're not fighting the other plant to be fed. Pickling cucumbers, like I say, the Calypsos, information I read on them, they're supposed to be great. We are going to plant a lot of them. That's why I ended up with 1 pound, but I know at every market that we went to, whenever they had first started setting, I couldn't keep them. Pickling cucumber, so many people are out there that enjoy pickling fresh local cucumbers, so we're really going to try and have a lot of those to take to the market this year, good Lord willing. But I'm not going to say that we're winding down on our seed, but that's the bulk of it. Some stuff that we got left to talk about is some okra, or like we call it, okra. We've got some cauliflower, some broccoli, snap beans, sweet corn, field corn, peppers. I'm not going to have anything to show on my peppers because I'm actually going through one of the local county schools here that have a ag academy that they do plant sales, and it's the same school that my kids go to, so I support them, and which I think anybody should support their local schools if they do any type of ag academy or anything that's to better the kids' education when it comes to pertinent information and hands-on experience on planting vegetables, growing vegetables, cows, goats, anything like that. But anyways, we'll get into that. I'm doing California Wonder, sweet bell pepper, or I'm sorry, sweet banana pepper, and the giant jalapeno. Anyways, also we're gonna go out here to the garden. I think I'm gonna do at least a short video every week up until the harvest of my onions. It's been a week and a day since they have came. So we're gonna go out here and look at them, see what they're looking at. Also show you my garlic that kind of got a little behind planting it from some of the other people that I've seen that's planted elephant garlic. I was probably like a week to 2 weeks late. I don't think it'll affect my harvest. I just think I'll be a week to 2 weeks behind on the harvest. So let's go out here and take a look at everything. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, if you can hear it, cool. I was gonna try and set it up so that way you could hear or you could see me talking, but anyways, this is some of our elephant garlic right here. You can see it's starting to come up pretty good, pretty decently. I don't really know how to combat the shadow, my shadow being on there. Wind's blowing pretty hard. Anyways, we'll look at some of our onion plants. This right here is the red Creole that we first started planting. You can see they're starting to come back. They're getting over their transplant shock. They've actually got new growth. Tomorrow I'll fertilize. I'll do 1 pound. I'll say this, let me back up. I've got, in the red Creole, there's about 400 red Creole onions on this row. And then on down the row, and the next 3 rows are the Vidora yellow onions. So in total, I've got probably 4,000 onion plants, 3,500 to 4,000 onion plants. My fertilizer schedule for these are going to be 1 pound per week for the duration. Once they start, once spring hits, prior to them starting to bulb, I'll probably up that just a little bit. I did something similar last year. I had really good results with it. And once you get down here to this end, let's see, it starts, you can kind of tell, you can kind of see the difference where it transitions over, but the end of this row is the Vidora onions. We'll take a look. I'm not going to show you all the rows. I'll split this row so that way y'all can see it. See where my dogs have been out here and got in my plastic. But we're trying it on plastic mulch this year because last year I planted not this many onions and I ended up, the weeds were almost waist deep and I actually had to take my bush hog and cut over it. And there goes one of the farm kitties. And I had to cut over it, and then I pretty much had to go back with a small shovel and dig every onion up. So this year I've got a plastic mulch layer, so we're planting on raised beds. It's a Notes RB 448. You can plant 4-foot plastic or 3-foot plastic. From what I've measured, the 4-foot plastic gives you just over a 3-foot bed, or close to a 3-foot bed. I'd have to go back, but we planted on plastic. The drip tape is run down the middle, so that way, and probably about 1 inch deep, so that way we're watering primarily just the roots. We are planting on the plastic this year, like I said, just to see how it does versus last year with all the weeds that I had. We're hoping for a good stand, but I guess, you know, like everything else, we'll see. But that's pretty much my onions. In this plot that I've got here, where I'm going to plant my onions, and I hadn't decided what I'm going to plant on the rest of the rows. There's 9 total rows, and I've got 5 rows left over here. And then I've got a top plot. There's 9 rows that are about 100 foot long, and then I've got 9 more rows. So in this top plot is 27 rows, and all of them are about 100 foot. And this will be where I plant my squash, my cucumbers, my peppers. And with the number that we've got, we're probably going to do some succession planting. Plant 1 row, skip 1 row, plant 1 row of the next variety. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and remember, God bless you and Jesus loves you.